Today I will be reviewing Gary V's Crushing It. Now, I got this book, I pre-ordered this book on Audible so that I could get it as soon as it came out. I've got a couple of copies of the hardback as well. And this book has been a great book, a great read, great listen. Gary V I find to be a very inspirational person. Very clever when it comes to marketing, brand awareness, brand perception, these types of things, and I really do think that Crushing It is what you would expect it to be in that sense. What I found that I really enjoyed about this book is that Gary really breaks down the different social media platforms and the different ways to win on those platforms into very clear, decisive chapters that you can go away, listen to. If you want to work on YouTube, you can listen to his YouTube chapter, if you want to read it even. And that for me was a fantastic, just a fantastic aspect of his books. It follows on to his book Crush It, which I do believe, I've got a copy over there somewhere. Crush It came out quite some time ago, and again it was his insight into how to win on social media. Both books for me had a huge amount of content from other people. This in particular, Crushing It in particular, had a lot of content of people who had listened to or read Crush It, gone away, implemented some strategies and had won in some aspect and were being interviewed for this book. And that was a huge portion of it. For me, it's great hearing these success stories. It's fantastic and it's inspiring, but probably a little bit more than I wanted it to be. It was more prominent than I wanted it to be. When I buy Gary Vaynerchuck's book, I kind of want it to be more Gary Vaynerchuk and less other people. So that was probably the only downside. With that said, the people who were interviewed for his book were people who had used techniques that he had said from his previous book. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword there. For me, I came away with some very clear points of how to do better on some of the social media platforms for my brands, for my personal brand, and in general. I was also able to look at the page or the time that chapter kind of talks about the aspect that I need and pass that on to someone else to listen to add value to them. So hugely beneficial there. Overall, I would say that this book is 100% worth a read, but don't go into it expecting just Gary V. I would have loved this to be more Gary V centric, but with the other people involved, it kind of took away from what I wanted it to be. Also, with the aspect of Gary is very open about how all the content he puts in his books you can get for free on his social platforms in different segments and different bits scattered around. It is really good to have that put into one place, but again, for me that kind of takes away from the rating that I'm going to get. I want something really beneficial when I buy a book, and for me, you know, I wanted Gary and I wanted something that is more than what he's already given. Despite that, having everything put into one place, having all the information and all the benefits put into one place, I would definitely give this a 4 out of 5. Don't let the rating fool you. I really do think that anyone in business, anyone building personal brand, anyone with any kind of entrepreneurial mindset should read this book or listen to it if you prefer listening to audiobooks. I just wanted it to be more Gary. That was my only kind of downside, really. More Gary and more of stuff that he hasn't looked into or tapped into before. 4 out of 5.